Welcome on our farm, the Biesterhof, which is a testing ground in the Netherlands for the Soil Values project. My name is Koster. I'm one of the 4 farmers on the 25 hectares here. One of the initiators also of this farm. And what makes the farm also unique is the fact that it's owned by Land van Ons, which is a grassroots organization in the Netherlands that uses membership money to buy agricultural land and lease it under the market price to farmers in order for them to increase biodiversity in the rural landscape. So for us on the farm, it's really amazing to be able to welcome the 30 international scientists from Soil Values here on the farm, because for us, we consider ourselves a regenerative organic farm. We are certified organic and we consider ourselves regenerative, but we also consider ourselves a community farm. So what we want to do is we don't only want to grow sustainable, healthy food on 25 hectares, we want to tell the world why it's important to do this, and we want to connect with all the different stakeholders in the society, including the scientists, because what we want to do here should also be science-based. Today, the visit of Soil Value here really provided us a great opportunity to connect on this subject, because for us everything starts with the soil and with soil health. The soil itself for us has its productive capacity, but taking care of our soil also costs. It costs energy, it costs labor, it costs sometimes even the high productivity that we see from conventional systems, but often those costs are not valued. Only the thing that is valued is yield in kilograms of revenue. And to work together at a European level on looking at how we can value all these other services that our soil and our farming ecosystem provides, and to explain how we like to do that on our farm, that was an amazing opportunity. Sustainable farming is place and context specific. And every area, every region, every soil type has got this place and context specificity. So there is no one size fits all. Also not regarding the values that are being created. So I really believe in looking at this specificity, looking at the stakeholders that are involved in the local ecosystem and working together with them, bringing them together, looking at what perspectives are there from the different sides, what values are perceived as being created, and then working with that, because only as a farmer I can't do it, and only as a distributor or a processor you can't do it. You also need the consumer, you need regulation, and often looking at it at a too large a perspective also doesn't help, because at least ourselves, we want to create local value. I also do think it's very important to take the European perspective and see where are challenges which are overarching, and how can they be addressed at the European level, and how can we create this framework also to zoom in to local stories. For us, in our context, it starts with land ownership. In the Netherlands, land is very, very expensive and often not directly related anymore to the sustainable income it can provide through agriculture. So for us, Land van Ons is the key stakeholder in that sense, as they have taken the issue of the land price and the cost of financing away. And that allows us the space and time that we need to build a sustainable system and a sustainable earning model. Besides that, we have a lot of regulations, and a lot of the regulations in the Netherlands are written for the agro-industrial system. And to keep 100 chicken here, we have to conform to the same regulations as if we would want to keep 50,000 chickens. So involving policy policy says they want sustainable agriculture, but they also maintain these regulations that make it impossible to. So to involve them in the conversation is essential. And then finally, I think a logical answer would be the consumer, but I want to say children. At the end of the day, we have a lot of people here who come for farm lunches who are 70 years old, and they're not going to be part of the future food system. The children are. So yesterday we had 10 school children who came to visit here to make a film, and we counted earthworms together. And for me, that is the essence. You know, so if I would say who's the most important stakeholder, I would say children. For me, one of the main challenges, and a lot of other farmers or future farmers who don't initially come from a farm, the biggest challenge is access to land. In Holland there's such a high competition for land use that if you don't come from a, and even if you do come from a farm, sometimes it's even really difficult to take over the farm from your parents, because you have to buy the farm from them, and then the cost of financing is so incredibly high. So it's challenging in any way, and especially if you want to do sustainable farming. So that challenge was taken away. The second challenge that I find is I work for Wageningen University as well still. We have a 1.5-year-old son, and we're doing this farm. And there's so much claim on my time that to balance that and to find a way to make it work with these three priorities and to get my priorities straight, that's also super challenging. And I realized last year that if in 5 years we have a beautiful flourishing farm here, regenerative and everything going well, but my partner who's German lives with our child back in Germany, and she said, Howard, thank you very much, goodbye. That's not success, that's not happiness. So balancing this and getting my priorities straight is really important. And relating that to soil values, and there's a lot of demand from science and from other stakeholders to come here and see what we're doing and ask questions and take away something. And what I demand is to be given something in return as well. And that's a discussion that I've been having with Jan Hassink as a point of contact for soil values, that I say we have very specific questions here, also on our earning model, also on financial models and monitoring the financial development of our farm. And I need help with that. And Soil Values and Jan Hassink have actually said, okay, well, we have our PhDs with their models that need to be filled, etc., but we will also set aside time and budget for you and for a group of other regenerative community farms in the Netherlands to answer your specific questions. And for me, that is super valuable and also quite unique. So of course today we had a nice tour of the farm and very interesting questions, but I think what was also one of the highlights was the panel discussion with the 3 different grassroots organizations in the Netherlands that are all putting money and effort and thought towards creating sustainable farming systems. And to really, what sometimes happens with ideology is that these different groups, they really believe that their truth is the truth. And for a few years in the Netherlands that was also so. But now having the Lentelandboeren, the Herenboeren and Land van Ons on one panel discussion and seeing how they interact, they are really finding their communal voice as well. I would say I call it an agroecological voice. And by doing that and by combining forces and setting aside the minor differences, they can actually also have a political impact, because also now a Ministry of Agriculture will know who to talk with if they want to know the viewpoint of sustainable farming. And I think that was very well showcased today in the panel discussion.